Welcome to the Visitor's Guide to Parque Nacional Marino Ballena here on Costa Rica Story. And this has been a long time in the making, so there's going to be footage from a lot of different trips I've made here. So you're going to see a lot of different shirts. You'll probably see this shirt quite often because I wear it a lot, but you'll see me in a lot of different shirts in this video from over about a year of coming here and traveling around. So some of the things we're going to cover here are, I'm going to have a map of how to get here. And we're going to have like kind of a virtual tour from the bicycle point of view. You may have seen that before in some previous guides. I'm going to go over some things to bring and some things not to bring. Places to eat or get a drink here. And I'm also going to let you know some important things to be aware of that can make or break your trip here to the park. So you want to stick around for that. And of course, safety while visiting here. And this video is broken up into chapters, so you can skip around and watch what you want to watch when you want to watch it, and go back and rewatch things that you need to rewatch. And there's drone footage, there's footage from the bike, there's footage on foot. I've got you covered here. This is a very extensive guide. So I hope you enjoy this guide to Parque Nacional Marino Ballena here on Costa Rica Story. Today we're going to the whale tail. We're here at the Uvita Information Center. We're going to take the short drive to the whale tail. Going across the Rio Uvita. The sun is pretty intense today. It is March, the dry season, and today today low tide is at 8:03, and it's now 7:44, so we're timing it just about right. The entrance, you can buy your ticket to get in, which is $6. You can buy that starting at 8 o'clock. But if you buy your ticket the day before, you can enter earlier. drive if you've been on some of the previous guides. to Bahia. Parking is $2 mil, so I'm trying to get my money in. Should get the second here. So it costs $2 mil to park in most parking places here, and there's a ton of places to park, especially real close to the entrance. So as you get closer to the entrance, you see this place. They have a lot of like tapestries for sale and all kinds of hats and all kinds of touristy things. Then you hang a left here, and it's already hopping, so to speak. The parking area is really close to the entrance. Usually every morning there's a bunch of boats that go out, so you'll see groups of tourists with life jackets early in the morning. So we got a mask up, and they only take credit cards here, so you have to bring a credit card, which is kind of a nuisance, but it's what it is.
The high of the sea, because normally it's the marée basse, no? We don't have a credit card.
Ah, you don't have to.
Only car.
Only card?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, uno adulto no residente.
Start or wait?
On top.
Okay.
Oops.
Okay.
Oh.
This is the cost.
See?
The ticket is cost to go out and go in for all day.
And it's good for all entrances, right?
Okay.
Okay.
We are here now.
See?
It's a second sector is a Colonia. Right here in the main road is a Ballena, 10 kilometers.
Okay. So, yeah. So there's this entrance where we are now, and then if you drive over, there's an entrance. There's two entrances that are pretty close together. There's a dirt road between. I ride my bike there all the time.
Yes.
Just
These are the perfect time here over there for from 7 in the morning to 11 point. These are for good time for visiting the there.
ah.
Okay, the same ticket for today, all day. You can go with visiting another entry for the national park.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much. What's your name?
My name is Ed.
Ed, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Augustine, my name.
Mucho gusto,
Okay,
Agustin.
thank you very much. Have a nice day. It's a take care with you belong inside. It's a problem for the people robbing all time. It's not good for me. For the
Sí.
take care, please.
Gracias.
Hey, sir.
Pura vida. So it's a little bit of walk from the entrance. But you'll notice there's a sign here that says Watch out for the crocodiles. So, you know what they say, never smile at a crocodile. I've actually never seen a crocodile here, but if there's a sign that says to watch out for crocodiles, keep that in mind. And it is low tide here, and it's about 8:02, so probably a little bit later than that now actually. But it's a little bit of a walk to the actual whale tail itself. But this is the perfect time to come at low tide when you can actually see the whale tail. And also there's a small river that needs to be crossed when you head to the whale tail from this entrance. Alright, so here's a look. The whale tail is off in the distance there. You can see the point out there. Maybe you can, maybe you can't, I don't know. So as you can see, the whale tail is a little ways off there, so bring water with you. Put your sunscreen on, probably wear a hat. Travel as light as possible. As they said at the entrance, don't leave anything valuable alone at the beach. Not even for a little while. So this is the river that you have to cross. And at low tide, it's not an issue. But at high tide, it's kind of tricky to make it across this. So crossing that little river at low tide is a lot easier than crossing it at high tide. So keep that in mind. You always want to know when high tide is and low tide is. Especially with a whale tail, because the whale tail is coolest at low tide. And at high tide, you can't even see it. Here's a little insider tip. Maybe you already know this, but it's actually a little bit easier walking if you walk closer to the shore here usually, as opposed to walking up towards the jungle where sand tends to be a little softer. So down here near the ocean, it's kind of easier going. The ground is smoother, less smushy. At least today. Your mileage may vary. As you see, we're headed towards the whale tail here behind me. Shadow's a little tall because it's early morning. Not really early morning Costa Rica standard, it's probably 8:30 I think. So yeah, this is the whale tail. So right now, we're actually on the whale tail, the beginning part of the whale tail, the base of the whale tail. I once joked to a friend of mine that on the left side is the Atlantic Ocean, and on the right side is the Pacific Ocean. And at first they said, really? Then they said, no. So if you want to make a stupid joke, throw that one in. Yeah, so this is like true low tide now. The whale tail is visible for quite a few hours, but this is where it's the most visible, this time of day. Check your timetables for your high tide, low tide. Magic Seaweed is a place that has the tides. I'll link that down below. So it is a beautiful day here at the whale tail. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. So it is a bit of a long, sweaty hike, so make sure you've got your sunscreen, make sure you've got some water, Make sure you've got everything that you need because you don't want to walk back to the car. And as I said before, the actual walk from one end to the whale tail is longer than most people think. So be prepared for that. And when you get out towards the end of the tail, there's a lot of rocks. It's kind of interesting at low tide. You see there's a lot of sea life and things like that. So as you see out behind me here, at low tide, these rocks reveal themselves. Pretty interesting. There's a lot of little tide pools here. And there's this thing, and I'm not even sure what that is. But as you can see, the whale tail is pretty long. We'll time how long it takes to get from here to back to the entrance that you come in. And of course, as always, your mileage may vary. Just to get a little idea of the size and scope of this whole area, I'm down at the tail right now. And that's the tip of the tail behind me. As we look towards the other direction there, that's the way we came in. So it's a long ways out here. So I want to give you kind of an idea of how long it takes to get out here. So I'm going to walk straight to the entrance. I'm here actually out towards the end of the whale tail. So this will give you an idea of how long it'll take you to get out here if you walk about the same pace that I do. It's about 9 o'clock right now, 9 a.m. It is exactly 9 a.m. as a matter of fact. And I'm out by the stone pile at the end of the whale tail, and I'm getting ready to walk back to the where the entrance is. I'll let you know how long it takes. So I've been walking for about 7 minutes steady from the end of the whale tail. I'm just approaching the jungle area just to give you an idea of how long it takes to walk. I'm not walking fast, I'm not walking slow, just a regular casual pace. But it is hot in this sun. And when you're out on the whale tail, you definitely want to head back to the shade as soon as you can. It is so relieving. It's such a relief to get back in the shade. So I've been walking about 9 minutes from the end of the whale tail to give you an idea of how far it is. And take note when you get off the wet sand, the dry sand is like really hot. So you might want to leave your sandals on or walk fast. Ow, 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 ow. So it took me just a little over 9 minutes to get from the end of the whale tail back here. So right here at the end of the whale tail, there's a little jungle trail, and it loops around and comes out about a quarter mile down the beach or so. pretty cool little hiking trail that you enter at the end of the whale tail. It takes you down the beach just a little while, gets you out of the sun. It's a nice option for the return back to the entrance after you've seen the whale tail. Give it a try. And this is where that little trail comes out, just a little ways down the beach. And the entrance is not too far up. Still have the river crossing to go, but nice little side trip. Even though this beach is known for the whale tail, it's just generally a nice beach. The water is perfect, relatively calm. There's not the huge waves you see at other beaches, although there are decent sized waves for playing around in. So from the shady spot at the end of the whale tail to where the trail goes back into the entrance, that's about another 11 minutes. So if you walk about the same pace that I do, you're talking about maybe 25 minutes to half an hour of walking time to get out to the end of the whale tail. Then of course you've got to do it again coming back. But I mean, you're going to want to lollygag on the way because there's a lot of things to do. Just to give you an idea of the distance, because it's not just a hop, skip, and a jump. It's a little bit of a hike to get out there, so keep that in mind. One nice thing about here too is they've got a nice shower here to clean off your feet. They've got one up here to if you wanted to take a full shower, but I'm just trying to get the sand off my shoes. There's also a few construction projects going on here, so by the time you come here, whenever you're planning on coming, or maybe added facilities, this is at the whale tail entrance, and I know at the third entrance they're putting a whole new set of bathrooms in there, so that's pretty cool. And there's the new bathrooms behind me here at the whale tail entrance, and they're very similar to the ones that are at the third entrance, made out of shipping containers. Pretty nice actually. Due to open very soon, probably by the time you come here. But this is the entrance where the boats come in. They have their own separate road where they access the park. So what does a whale tail look like at high tide? Well, that's what it is right there. Remember our last time here, we were at low tide, and this was just a little stream. This is what it's like at high tide. And this is why it's so important to check magic seaweed or some other source to know when high tide and low tide is. So this is one of those special times when the river flows upstream. So it's no big deal, but you might get your hiney wet crossing the river at high tide. So at high tide you lose a lot of real estate on the beach in this particular area. So if you came through here at low tide and you're coming back through here at high tide, it might be a little bit of a different experience. So one of the first places you're going to notice as you come down closer to the whale tail is there's a place on the corner that's got a lot of shirts, a lot of tapestries, a lot of souvenirs, you name it. Muchas souvenirs. So there's a wide selection of everything down here, from t-shirts, tapestries, handmade goods, a lot of different t-shirts here. And this is the corner, as you take a left, it's going down towards the entrance to the whale tail. But first, let's go across the street and we'll look at the dolphin tour place. So this is a dolphin tour. They take people out on boats to look at various things. And the number's right up there in case you need to call them. And right next to that is Pizza Express. So this is Pizza Express. I've had more than 1 or 2 or 3 pizzas here in my time. It's a decent pizza. Next is Scuba Snorkel and Surf Shop. It's Costa Rica Dive and Surf. We'll just take a real quick look in here. So that's the parking lot for this restaurant right here, which is apparently closed right now. Oh. And on your left here, this is one of the parking lots that you may want to park in if you're going to the beach. It's only $2 mil to park here all day. You can leave and come back. And I parked there today, as a matter of fact. And it's connected to Mini Super Orca. And there's a Mini Super here. Mini Super Orca. Hola. Lots of your needs here. Gracias. Bongo. Bar here. Like maybe they're having some dance music there tonight. Here's Uvita 360, which is a surf shop. They have tours and rentals. Right across the street from Uvita 360 is Restaurant Fernando's. And on the right, there's another parking area, and that's $2 to park here. Across the street from there, there's a little souvenir shop. They also have some art here. You see, they've got hats. Hats come in handy when you're down at the beach. That sun's pretty intense. Gracias. Here's another tour agency that takes you out for boat rides and things. Sign up there. Here's an outfit that does kayak tours, surf lessons, a lot of things. So to get to the second entrance of Parque Nacional Marino Ballena, you go the same way you would to the whale tail entrance, except when you come down here, you take a left here where you see these signs. There's like a bus stop. here we are at the second entrance to the park, and some people call this the Fluttery entrance because it's close to the Fluttery house. But this is just another entrance to get in. Once you pay in one entrance, you can go in all the other entrances with the same ticket. So this is just another way to enter the park. And there's a cool breeze blowing right now, which is pretty excellent. One thing about this access point, there's no lifeguard on duty, and you do have to be careful of the currents like any place you go. So of all the three entrances that we went through in this video, the second entrance is by far the least developed. You can get agua de pipa here usually, and there's an Argentinian restaurant right up the road and to the right, and there's a surf shop just down the road to the left. And on the way here, there's a little pizza place and another little restaurant bar. But right in this general area here, there is no real amenities for you here. So here at the second entrance, there's not as many shops and amenities, but you can rent a surfboard here. And there's also a surf shop right down the road there. You can rent a surfboard, and they also rent bicycles. And you can usually get a Pipa Fria here, which is quite awesome. This is actually the spot where I had my first Pipa Fria. Oh, that's nice, real.
Nice, right?
And there's a road here that goes between the second entrance here and the third entrance. You kind of need a 4x4 to get through, but it's not that far to go. It connects the two entrances. So here at the second entrance, there's no real official parking areas at this time, but I've seen they've been working on this area right here, so I don't know if they're planning on putting a parking lot there or what. But this place has changed quite a bit over the last couple of years because this was all a dirt road for quite a ways coming through here. So that's pretty much it for the second entrance. There's not a lot to show you about here. I mean, the beach is beautiful. So your turn for the third entrance is right here. There's a great big billboard and there's a bus stop. So here we are at the third entrance. Got to mask up to go through and pay. No residente. Uno. Gringo. Sí. ¿Listo? Excelente. So here we are entering at the third entrance, and no matter where you pay, you can go to all the rest of the entrances and get through. Just make sure you keep your ticket. So when you do go through, they give you your ticket, and you have to keep this ticket because they may ask for it along the way somewhere. Probably not, but you never know. But also to get into any entrance, any other entrance, you need this ticket. It's the golden ticket to get into any of the entrances to this park. So there's a lot of construction projects going on here in the park, and one of them is got some new bathrooms coming in here. So the new bathrooms are made of containers, and they're going to be ready next Monday. So this isn't the entrance you're going to come to if you want to go to the whale tail, because it's quite a walk down to the beach. But this is the entrance you want if you want to go. There's a lifeguard on duty because there's lifeguard stands right here. This is a popular surfing access area here, but there's lifeguards on duty. So from here you can see the whale tail is way off in the distance. I don't know if you can, how well you can see it, but it's out there. So the park is more than just the whale tail itself. There's just so many beautiful places here. Each little stretch of the beach has got its own little personality. So it's worth exploring. Just take a little walk up the beach. One thing you don't want to forget when you come here is your sunscreen. So apply it before you leave, and also bring it with you and reapply it throughout the day. You're going to want to bring a water bottle because they don't allow single-use plastics in the park, so you want a water bottle like this. And here's the item to protect your phone, your passport, your car keys, things that you don't want to get wet if you're going near the water. I wouldn't use this like if you're going to be diving or surfing or like fully immersed in the water, but it's good if you're around the water to have it because it kind of protects you a little bit. It's got pretty good seal on it. I've kind of experimented with it, but it's got a place for your phone. You can put your passport in here, your car keys. So the Costa Rican money, the older bills, if you go in the water with the bills in your pocket, will run. The new ones won't, but the older ones made of more of a paper substance will run. The newer bills are made of kind of a more of a plastic thing, and they're fine, but I mean they run a lot, so you don't want to go in the water with bills in your pocket. So we have to be aware of the dangers here at the park. You'll see signs for crocodiles, and it's the ocean, so you have to think about sharks. But those two really aren't very common things. But what is common is there are a lot of rays here, and rays can damage you with their tail, their stinging tail. And the injuries can be from just minor to where you'll have to go seek medical attention. So you need to be aware of that. And one of the things you can do when you walk out into the ocean is you shuffle your feet as you walk out, and that kind of prevents you from stepping on top of them. It kind of lets them know you're coming. And if you happen to see a lifeguard, they can tell you a lot about the different things you have to watch out for here. Of course, there's the dangerous currents you have to watch out for. And look for the flags, because the flags will tell you what condition the ocean is in. I mean, there's red flags, there's yellow flags, there's black flags. And don't leave stuff in your car. Don't leave stuff unattended on the beach, even a short distance from you, because there's some very talented people that will take your stuff from you if you give them the opportunity, because it's a crime of opportunity, and don't give them the opportunity. So we've only talked about 3 entrances here because the 4th entrance to the south is currently under construction and it's not open at this time. So we've got the first entrance, which has the whale tail, the second entrance, which is underdeveloped and has nothing more than agua de pipa and a little surf shop there. And the third entrance is a little bit more developed. There's a few places to get things to drink and some snacks and things like that. There's a little cafeteria here in the third. So for me, as somebody who's been to the park quite a few times, the third entrance is probably my favorite, just because you've got a better chance of seeing wildlife here, I believe, I think. And it's just more peaceful, less traveled, less touristy. And I'm just standing here right now by myself with a cool breeze blowing, just watching some people surf out there. There's an iguana still sitting up there in the tree sunning himself. Just got through seeing a sloth that was pointed out to me by one of the staff members here at the park, whose name is Jeffrey. I also want to take a minute just to thank the staff here, all the park people and the lifeguards and everybody that's helped me navigate my way trying to put this guide together. They've been very helpful. I know it's a tough job, and if there's any topic that I didn't cover that you want to know about, put your question down in the comments, and if I don't know the answer, I'll try to find the answer. Maybe no promises, but I'll do the best I can. And so here we are at the third entrance, and there's a lot of different amenities here. So you see right here, there's a place where you can camp and park. And there's quite a few different options for parking here. As a matter of fact, right down at towards the beginning of the entrance, there's kind of a competition for getting the people to park in their respective parking areas. Hola. Gracias. So that's the cafeteria here. You see, and Capos Cruz. This is where I go a lot of times to get my Pipa Fria. He's muy excelente. They sell copos. There's a picture of the different things they have here. These are copos es muy rico. El agua de pipa. Ajá, sí. If you like agua de pipa. Muy excelente. Excelente. Gracias. Here's another parking spot. So you can park here. And there's also parking there. There's also another place to get copos. You can rent boogie boards right here. So if you have a really good eye, you can spot a sloth, and Jeffrey just pointed out to me there's a sloth up here in the tree. ¿Tienes Pipa Fria? Excelente. Gracias. Pipa Fria. Copos, Cruz, Pipa Fria. Mi favorita. Favorita. Well, that's all I've got for the definitive guide to the whale tail episode of Costa Rica Story. Make sure you subscribe if you want to, like if you liked it, but most importantly, put those comments down below because I want to hear what you've got to say. Hasta luego.